go willingly. He doesn't understand why he's being abandoned in the dark. He's looking like
more children should be abandoned in the dark, if you ask me.
Putting him down is a process. Like it's fucking
putting him down is a process.
Should we do an episode? Because if we finish early enough, I can actually play some Baldur's Gate.
That's 20 to 9, so
I like your motivation here.
Yeah.
All right, roll for initiative, kids.
15.
16.
Whoa! Damn.
Did you say 17, Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's tight.
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
I want a timing check to see if he was just waiting for us.
This is the Baldur's Gate thing. No, I legit got it. I mean, I'm not going to hold my phone up like
he was using guidance.
Yeah. Cast that cantrip on myself before we started. BG3 represent. All right. Well, welcome again to another episode of Basement Discourse. We're back. We're fresh. We've had holidays. We've got tattoos. We've all got stories to tell. Oh wait, only 2 of us have that. One is named Brady, and he doesn't have any of those things.
I have been gaming more than usual, so I actually have a lot of gaming stories, but that's for another episode.
Oh, well, how exciting for this episode then. Why
it
are
is
you
for
here?
people, because I will be quiet. That's fucking exciting.
The best episode yet.
I'm your DM, Justin. We have the gamer over there, Jace, and we also have our anime guy.
Content.
I don't know what you call him. Anime guy.
I'm the gamer.
He's the gamer now.
Yeah.
We have Brady as well, and yeah, apparently Jace is the content because he's been doing a lot of heavy lifting lately. I've got to say, he's had a lot of episodes coming out, a lot
Just
of
working
gaming
on the
stuff
pecs, mate.
coming from him. You know, so fair, I suppose. We'll give him some sort of rep, but. Well, let's start with you anyway. How was your holiday? Where did you do? Where'd you go? What happened?
Well, I had a very strange holiday. It all started with a cattle decapitation gig. They were coming to Australia and I was like, you know what? Fuck, I better go see that band. So I did. And then, they were fantastic, by the way. Editor, throw clips. Alright, perfect.
Boom.
Great work, editor. That'll
Thank
probably
you.
be me. That's not you.
It's never going to be you, Justin.
Nah, it totally will be once I get sick of doing it. Which will be after this episode.
Yeah.
And then I went and saw the Grim Ruiner, who is the guy who does all this. And I had the pleasure of getting my fucking nose tattooed. That was an experience, friends. Also, I realized I was supposed to be reducing my swearing. I did not. Lol.
Have fun with that, editor.
Yeah.
It is relevant for this experience because it wasn't horribly painful like I kind of expected it to be, but it was a whole bunch of really weird experiences that I don't want to ever have again. Like up here, like near the eyebrow, was like, have you ever plucked your eyebrows and needed to sneeze? So there's a thing because of how the nerves run through your eyebrows, around your eyes and down near your nose. The nerve endings, if they're triggered in the right way, make you feel like you want to sneeze. And so I had that the moment he's like running the machine up here.
Oh no.
And then there's a spot where it goes down here. And as it goes over here, the machine blocks my nostril so I can't breathe. But it's also a tattoo needle just jamming into the side of my nose as well.
That's a good thing though, because you have 2. Like.
Yeah, but that's not how it.
Yeah, that's definitely
that's not how breathing works. Oh,
no,
okay.
you don't just fucking. Goddamn!
You just don't breathe.
You don't just
out of your
swap
nose.
nostrils on the fly, mate.
Yeah, you can't.
And then,
it's not a mesh.
You do.
It doesn't just leap.
No,
You can talk about it.
there is a whole weird science about it. And technically, we only breathe through one nostril.
I want this recorded because I don't have much to say in these stories anyway. Justin, do this and try and breathe in. Your fucking ears hurt and everything else?
What the fuck are you guys talking about? You have 2
like
holes in your nose.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's harder.
But it actually all leads.
It's not! It's exactly the damn same!
Do you have a fucking deviated septum or some shit?
What are you talking about? Are you talking about blocking your nose hole? Like this little hole here. And you have the one right next to
your
it.
Nostril. There's
Right.
actually a hole deeper up that goes into like your actual skull. That's where you're actually breathing through. That's the
I
bit
wouldn't be able to block that up
with
because
the
there's
machine.
cartilage there. Like there's a big pile
I don't
of cartilage.
have a whole lot of cartilage here, man.
I can't block it. Like I can block
Story's
that.
gotten wild.
Yeah,
already.
man, you guys are fucking wild.
But that
I don't
tattoo, that sneeze reflex is why the old cartoons with the feather duster when people are asleep making them sneeze
Yeah.
and shit.
Same
right.
thing.
Totally works.
Every time I'd stretch my septum, same experience. I'd want to sneeze afterwards, which was terrible the time that I split my septum because I tore it and blood was pouring out, and then I sneezed and there was just blood all over my face. It was hilarious.
Ouch.
But that's a story for another day. Anyway, getting my face tattooed was terrible over the nose, but fun experience. Definitely recommend the Grim Ruiner. But the more important and direct reason that I went to him was to finish my left arm. I finally got it done. So
Nice.
this is all Evil Dead themed. So you've got like the Necronomicon here. And then
Oh, yeah.
my favorite bit is the little skeleton playing a bone flute. If you ever saw Army of Darkness, when the army of skeletons or deadites are marching onto the like castle, there is like one section where there's like drummer skeletons and that, but there's one skeleton who's playing his little bone flute. So I made sure that Rand actually added him in. It's like my favorite. I adore it.
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
But that was
so
pretty
cool.
much my trip. I just went up, saw a sick band, got tattooed, and then went home. What about you, Justin?
Wow. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Well, I spent 2 weeks in the Philippines, so a little bit different. Was with the fam, and surprised to see that they are really into their anime over there as well. So as soon as we landed, I was seeing tuk-tuks going by with like full One Piece on like the back of them and on the sides and stuff like that. Like they were in love with it. Before I'd even gone into our hotel, I'd already talked to a person on the plane about D&D, a person on the plane about the Steam Deck, and then another person in a cafe about anime, including One Piece and how many episodes there are, which he told me he's now watched twice over, which is just dumb.
That's insanity.
I know, right? I was like, dude, that's too much. And then I asked him about the real adaptation, and he was like, yeah, no, not my thing. And then we started talking about other anime. But yeah, it was wild. Absolutely crazy. So Philippines, couldn't recommend it more. It's only a 7-hour flight for us Australians, so it's nice and close. Beautiful beaches, really nice people, and most people speak English over there too, which kind of helps. So if you're a bit scared, that's a factor that can, that can weigh up the, some people just don't like it if they can't speak English. But everywhere we went, no matter how remote, everyone could speak English, so it was really convenient and super cheap. So while I was over there, I decided to also get a tattoo because why not? Kind of an inconvenient timing though, because I did it right in the middle of the holiday and you're surrounded by water and islands, and so not getting that wet for the remainder of the holiday was kind of a downer and like really sucked. But I did put a second skin on it, and it seemed to have worked for the most part for that purpose. So I know you're meant to do it when you first get it, but it seemed, in all intents and purposes, it seems to have worked for that moment. So yeah. It was worth the risk. It was really cool. So did a lot of diving over there, did a whole lot of swimming, and yeah, so that worked out really well.
Well, get your tits out.
All right then, I'll get my tits out. That's what I've been waiting for all night.
We need the views, mate. Straight to the Basement Discourse OnlyFans. Oh, he's giving us the full nips.
I love that the shaved hair is just fantastic. It really...
It is growing back. What side am I on? It is growing back. Like, it probably doesn't look it on screen, but man,
it will. That's how body hair works.
That's how that works. Unless you
what
mean.
looks like it is on
Yeah.
screen. I don't know if you can see it though. Like it's there, but it's not as thick and luscious as my other side.
Yeah, but like...
But man, it's been itchy. God damn it. God damn
Yeah.
it. Did not plan that ahead. I was just rocked up, I was like, yeah, let's do this. And he's like, oh, so I guess I'll shave you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that too. Like, I've spent nearly 200 hours getting tattooed. I show up at Rand's venue and I'm like, oh yeah, just hook me up. And he's like, did you not shave? And I was like, oh shit. I'm sorry, man.
I felt like such a dick. So my guy was at Darkside Tattoos in on a smallish island called Panglao, which is just off of Bohol in the Philippines. Just a single dude, like on his own sort of unit. And yeah, his name was Rudy, and I'll put up a little vid that I got as well for that at some stage, because I did record a few little bits here and there. I didn't want to like stick a camera in his face the whole time, but he was pretty cool with it, so
yeah, I figured
his whole face.
I figured I'd done that enough with Ran in the past with all my footage of tattoo sessions with him, so I was like, maybe I'll let him off this one time. That, and I figured that I would be cowering like a little girl, and to some degree I was, so I kind of saved face there.
I fell asleep by the like hour and a half in, I think, right near the end. I was like, oh, I was just asleep. Damn it. Just got to sleep.
Was he using a rotary machine on you? Like, was it a quiet machine, or?
Yeah, it was fairly quiet, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why. Because, like, when they're using the old school coil machines, those things are just so loud. Like, no matter how easy the tattoo is, you can't just fully zone out because it's just so loud.
And it's sporadic too. It's not like it's a constant sound there, you know. So it's just on and off sort of noise.
That's because it's all foot pedal powered. So
yeah. No, it was a great experience, and you know, for where I was and for the quality, which was exactly how he drew it, like to the dot, ridiculously close to how he drew it. I was very happy with the price, and it was awesome. So I couldn't recommend it more. Get a tattoo overseas. I'm not liable for anything that may or may not happen to you while you do that.
To be quite honest, I think more people need to actually travel for tattoos, because this is one thing that I see all the time is people like, oh, who's the best tattoo artist within the 3 kilometer radius of my house?
Yeah.
It's like,
dude, well, there's Dodgy Dave, or there's my uncle.
There's a guy up the road from me called Shovel that tattoos. And the name is so fitting to the work. I don't want to poo on him because he's probably a fantastic
How he does
dude,
it is he gets old newspapers and then he wrings them out and gets the ink out. Traditional, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But people definitely need to venture more. Like, I've travelled heaps to get tattooed. And to get any
do your
sort
research
of body
too.
mod.
Like, you know, don't just go to the Philippines expecting a cheap tattoo and just go to the first place you see.
Oh, there's 100% going to be tourist trap joints that are just designed to churn out cheap crap work.
And I don't want to crap on them, but there were some tattoo artists on the beach, and it's like they I don't know, they may have been legit, but they didn't look great.
Look,
usually first impressions are a big thing.
100%.
You walk in the door, and if it doesn't look, smell, and appear clean, that's the first thing that even a shit shop should be able to manage.
Exactly. Yeah. I think do your research. You know, check out if they don't have socials. That's the first warning sign. If they're not out there enough that they're going to take photos and put them out on social media, they're probably hiding something. So I'm just saying, there might be a couple of underground dudes that are
there are
guys or gals
exceptions
that do that and they don't put their stuff out. But if you're in a foreign country and you can't find any information about these guys, then I couldn't say I wouldn't be standing behind that.
So I do know in Japan and Korea, because of the weird legalities and stuff, there are a lot of artists that only operate in word of mouth. And even though they're fantastic artists and they follow good hygiene standards, they're purely word of mouth because of stigma.
In that case, though, I would say the only way you would have even known about them is by someone else who's been tattooed by them or knows about them somehow.
You can't walk past their shop and be I know what that is.
No, exactly. You've done your research regardless. So do your research whichever way it is that you need to do that research. But
Anyone
Make sure we
else
do
think
it.
that Justin sounds like a old boomer parent? I do my own research.
It does.
I play my own holidays.
It's just hard because like
This holiday has aged me, man. Like it was, we did a lot. Like
it's
yeah,
so
we did
hard
a
to
lot.
relax and have time off work.
And
Yeah, I need a holiday for that
basement
holiday,
discourse
man.
and not respond to their Facebook messages.
Yeah.
Oh, you think I had much internet?
Yes.
I did actually. I got a SIM.
I was gonna say, I saw your consistent photos of the beach and how hard your holiday was, so I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
bro,
you had
it's so
internet.
hard. I'm so tired. I'm still so tired. Yeah. So I guess that was our holidays and that was our tattoos. How was your tattoo and holiday, Brady? Oh, okay. Moving on.
I liked that bit. That was my favourite segment of this episode.
He's so pissed. Look at his face.
I'm just,
Oh no.
That's a man who
just-
needs a tattoo right there.
just
Well,
plotted
alright,
some
you've been doing
revenge.
stuff, right? You've been gaming. What have you?
He has been spending money.
guess.
He has spent money.
Oh,
It's true.
Explain
That is true.
this money spending.
How have you been gaming? In what format have you been gaming? This is not PS5 because we all know that's rubbish. So
It's slightly less rubbish than your fucking Xbox, though.
I don't know. I mean, my Game Pass does translate to other platforms, which is handy. So
Yeah,
there is
look,
that.
I can't defend Sony right now because their PlayStation Plus is just a fucking crap box, and the
We
Spider-Man
might dive
game.
into that in another episode. Hey,
Yeah.
just really break
But
down the value
what I have
behind
been
that.
gaming on though is a PC that does not take up to and including 24 hours to export a Basement Discourse episode from its editor.
Okay,
which
so
is
how many
fucking
episodes
amazing.
have you exported so far?
Shut up.
Got
Yeah,
him.
no, I totally get
It also
you, though.
doesn't freeze up while I'm editing and stuff like that, and it
Yeah.
like it runs games, which is awesome. And I've had a gaming session with you guys, which is actually a first in my life, I think.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I've done
Friends?
online gaming. No, online gaming with friends. I've only ever done like random.
We're business friends.
No, like Call of Duty, where you're just thrown in a lobby with random people
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like
pubs.
that. I haven't
Yeah,
ever
right,
played
yeah.
a co-op
So
game or anything like that.
you haven't actually partied up.
Oh,
No.
Oh my god, dude! You're talking
No,
about
ne-
my
next
entire
session-
like childhood.
next
Yeah,
session,
no,
we're
no.
all taking drugs. We're showing him the real party.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's just like 8 cans of
us
Red
sleeping.
Bull and
It's just
fucking
us
Call
going
of
to
Duty
sleep.
all night or something.
Man,
I used to
no,
like
I mean-
when we used to do like all nighters and have like party back when internet wasn't a thing, and we used to actually just go to people's houses and play like 4-player split screen or LAN parties.
yeah, you
like,
bring like 8
You know,
PCs
energy
into
drinks
one
wasn't
room.
even a thing.
Yeah,
we used
nah.
to get like Coke. We just have heaps and heaps of Coke, and you just be drinking that because I mean that's all you had.
Oh,
when you
sure.
were, like,
Yeah.
Different type of
14.
party.
Oh yeah, I mean I was 14. I was actually a pretty clean kid, I gotta say. But like just cans of Coke. But then if you got really desperate and you wanted to do the all nighter, you'd just get coffee out and you'd just like shovel a couple of spoons of coffee in and then just down it with the Coke because it was obviously like you wouldn't be drinking coffee at that age. So yeah, we used to eat like coffee grinds and
Yeah,
then, like
I-
swallow them down.
Okay, so
Yeah, dude.
That imagine the energy I have now as a child. I did not need to be downing fucking coffee grinds. What the fuck is
This
wrong
is
with
like
you?
we're talking
Holy
all
shit.
nighters as a child. So
Yeah,
like,
I did
we
those
we gotta
regularly.
go all the way
all-nighters
through the
too.
sun.
but
So was
like,
I did that without the need for excess
I just-
caffeine. Like Red Cordial managed it just easily,
Yeah,
man.
just-
like,
Damn.
what
Maybe
the
I was a chill kid. I don't know. I needed that. I needed that pick me up.
I'd
I've
like to
never
imagine
heard
I'm a
of
pretty
anyone-
chill fellow, but no, I just Coke, man.
I've never
You're
heard of
drinking
anyone.
energy right now.
Yeah,
it's
and look
8
at how
o'clock.
calm I am. This is to get to this level. If I wasn't, I'd be asleep right now.
But yeah, the long and short of it, since this is in a standard episode, is PC. First one I've ever built. I was using a Mac, and now I moved over to here. Jace helped me pick the parts based on my budget. There'll be content on that, so you guys can see what we end up putting together. And it's been great. Honestly, like I thought I'd have a harder time switching from Mac to PC because there is a lot of differences down to small things. Like sometimes I do hit up Jason, our DM, and be like, Like the other day I did a screenshot and I was like, I don't know where it went. And he's like, yeah, it's on your clipboard. I was like, cool. Stuff like that is it's just wildly different. Like a screenshot on a Mac just insta saves it to your desktop. And I'm sure there's probably a key for that again on PC, but it wasn't what I thought it would be.
Don't think there is because it's not inherently supposed to. The idea is that you own... Because like every time you screenshot something, it's theoretically taking up space when you don't really need it to. So one thing I use like screenshots for is I can take a screenshot right now of like our screen and I can just paste it straight into Facebook. It's not saved on my computer anywhere. It just goes straight to Facebook and you guys get it and I don't have to worry about storage. Because I'm down to my last 10 terabytes on this thing.
Oh yeah, that must be just devastating.
It's rough, yeah. It's hard days out here.
That being said, so I think previously, when we do this, we use OBS, that's our recording software. Without even using a virtual cam, which is what I'm doing now, I would be running at a CPU usage, was it 50 or 60 sometimes in a percentage. Currently running 60 frames that are not dropping at all at 1.8% of CPU usage, which is
you're a lower percentage than me.
Yeah.
Like I think I have a few more scenes going on, but still.
Yeah, I've only got the one, so well, I got two set up, but only on one right now. It's happier,
all in all,
and I'm happier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's adjustments to be made, but like gaming with you guys, editing is far better. I'm using a different editing software, so things are changing a little bit as well, which is why Jace has not only become the content, he's putting out the normal content.
He's editing the content
for us.
too.
Yeah.
The content is editing the content.
You're like Rocky Balboa.
And this is where that picture I made goes in the blank square.
When he decided to do Rocky, you're just like going to produce it, you're going to star in it. It's just a you show.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Jason Discourse.
It does mean there are other advantages here. So moving forward as a channel, we will all be far closer to on the same page and able to make new content together, like gaming, and even use similar programs and all sorts of stuff that may come in handy as we go down the line.
Justin doesn't have to use a laptop that literally bursts into flames every time he types Da Vinci.
Damn, it was loud, hey. Like, it got real loud by the end. It was not loving me.
See, at least yours still, like, it was crawling covered in sweat and flames, but it was having a good hard go. Max just killed himself at 99 degrees.
Yeah, but see, the difference... So his will actually throttle. So what his laptop was doing, because it's slightly newer than your Mac, is that CPU actually throttles back and runs slower, so then it's not as hot. So, it stays on, but it's staying on at the risk of running even worse than before, which is surprising that it
which
can
we've
manage.
seen with my old footage.
Yeah.
Oh,
the timing
but actually,
on my voice.
While we're on this, I will go through a couple of funny mistakes, because why not put them out there for
I was
the
actually
internet
going to
enjoy.
say, before we move on to talking about Justin, we had an idiot of the week planned. Brady, would you like to tell me about your idiot moment while building your PC?
There's more than one, unfortunately.
The one that took several days, because I just assumed that you couldn't possibly be this stupid.
Oh, yes. I remember this one.
So, when I bought a Wi-Fi motherboard, I don't know exactly what I thought that would mean, but I just kind of envisioned a chip on the motherboard that would then receive Wi-Fi signal. As it turns out, no. That is incorrect, and all the PC people right now are already laughing. We thought something was wrong with my internet, we thought something was wrong with the drivers that receive Wi-Fi in my computer. We did everything to no end because there's two little antennae that I needed to screw on, and I had not.
Did you not wonder what they were when they came in the box? Like, you're just like, well, spare parts,
So when
just like
I built
IKEA,
mine,
I guess.
Jace very much ran me through piece by piece, so I think he just kind of... I don't know if that was
You
when...
just assumed you would know.
I think I mentioned it as an offhand comment at one point, or I may have put it in a little doc that I made.
Because they are so simple. It's literally...
Yeah, I just sort of glossed over it because I just assumed he would know. But, like, the funny thing is though, like, just the sockets there still work to pick up signal, which is why you were getting the faintest of connections every now and then.
Yeah.
Because it can still theoretically pick up signal. But, without
days
actual
of
antenna.
uninstalling and reinstalling drivers, changing settings. There was so much. It was so infuriating. And it wasn't the only error. Fun, quick, silly one was turn the computer on, and we had done a bunch of different things on how to save money in this build, because life, cost of living, the world. One of the things I was going to do was continue to use my Mac keyboard and mouse for a little while until I could save up and get a good gaming one, because there's no point spending a little bit of money now and then a lot of money later. I'd rather just wait and get the good ones.
Of course.
Unfortunately, until Windows is installed, you have no Bluetooth drivers. So I could not click on Windows to start its install until the next day after I'd built the PC, because I had to go buy a like $7 Logitech one, which was pretty funny.
You had to buy a cheap one to get them.
They're very cheap though.
I have been in similar scenarios. So as an IT guy, I haven't been too far outside that realm. So there's been times where I've had to set up older servers, and on those older servers, they don't accept USB as a keyboard or mouse option. They only work off that old PS2, you know, the round connection.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would have to find
horrible.
something that worked with that, or an adapter to make it that work. And sometimes they only had one for a keyboard. They didn't have one for a mouse. So I literally got used to tab as being the way to swap between options and using just a keyboard to navigate through a system. So
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Oh, that's
I've
horrible.
been there.
That's crazy.
It happens.
One more
Yikes.
silly error. Got the first game. I was really lucky. It came with a code with buying the parts for the PC. Got it installed. Everything seemed to be good-ish. Got to the start screen. Every time I tried to start the game, it sort of wouldn't work, and I was lowering the settings. Still very confused, because Jason and I discussed, like, it should work on decently high settings. Maybe not the absolute peak of what the game can run at, which, as it turns out, it does anyway. But when I was trying, it was crashing, and we got it to work on low after like 4 attempts for some reason, and it looked like
It was like a PowerPoint presentation. It was terrible.
it was so bad and so funny, and we're like, what is this? And then Jason's like, what? You're using HDMI or you're using DisplayPort? I was like, HDMI, like, I don't know what a DisplayPort is. And he's like, where are you plugged into? And I was like, to the HDMI spot. Like, where else would I be? He's like, in the graphics card? I was like, what do you mean? I hadn't even taken the caps off the thing, so he's like, why do you think it sticks out the back? I was like, I didn't even know they were there. Like, I had no idea that you're supposed to plug straight into.
When I was helping you set it up, I'm pretty sure you asked about those plugs on the back. Because you also asked about the little cover that goes over the PCIe pins. And I was explaining that at that point, but obviously you may have been a little too excited, as Brady does.
I was, yeah. Very funny. So yeah, I was trying to run Starfield off my CPU.
Nice.
Which is an AMD APU, which isn't terrible, but it's not a Starfield runner.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to play Fortnite on low settings sort of thing, that might work.
Well, it ran Fall Guys.
Yeah,
So this
Fall
is
Guys
the
is
other
another
thing.
good
I
example,
thought something else was like going on here. But no, yeah, I was not plugged into my graphics card.
It's always a bad feeling, though, when you've done all that work. You've obviously put in a lot of time. You even had to wait a day to get your keyboard and mouse to work. And then you finally get to play something. You're like, finally installed this 100 gigabyte game. And you go to play it, and it's like you've just tapped into MS-DOS.
It's so bad, man. I can't...
You would just shoot yourself. You'd be like,
And
come
then-
on.
We had a very quick one today. Due to all those Wi-Fi issues, there had been setting changes back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And as Jace will tell you, in Australia, one of the best things you can do for your internet is switch DNS. I had done that originally, but then I'd reset to default so it could work out what was wrong with my Wi-Fi, which turned out to be antenna issues because they have to be plugged in to work. So we've been doing this other content for you guys, including gaming together, and I was sort of a little skittish on the internet and we didn't know why, and then today I couldn't even get Discord to open. That was on the wrong DNS, so I was trying to use fucking Telstra's default, which is just a shocking idea, because today this has run absolutely beautifully. So I am Idiot of the Week times 4 in one category.
Damn.
Which...
That's
It
ridiculous.
feels like a record, but it also feels kind of expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I
feel
want my award, and I definitely already have my acceptance speech written.
Well, I know a guy who
Good.
can 3D print an award.
I will 3D print the world's smallest award for you.
Yeah,
we need
sick.
an Idiot of the Week award just to hold up, like a little trophy every time it's our
Oh my
turn.
god. I
You
need
should
to
definitely do that.
That's perfect.
But it's going to be so small. Like,
That's
small.
Just like a little cup.
That's like the perfect example of an Idiot of the Week sort of award. You shouldn't be given something that's big and grandiose. It
That's
should be
true.
something small and shameful,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
like
a
Brady's
toilet.
package.
I was going to say like Justin, but Jace got there first. Do we want to talk about Justin's PC?
Well,
It works.
You know,
Nah.
Actually,
While
no,
we're
I do want to
here-
discuss a quick error that you made. The reason you're in a different room than usual.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's probably looks a bit weird considering this is probably the only time it's ever happened, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, so my PC build, I built this idea around being able to use my PC in 2 locations. So I wanted to be able to take this PC with me down to my nerd shack, which is outside of my house, obviously, because there's a whole space there, and you guys have seen it a million times, and it's nice and it's lovely, except that it's really cold, so there are some downfalls there, and it sometimes floods. And
Just
then
few downfalls, you know.
yeah, you know, like there's sort of things. There's spiders and there's a whole lot of dirt. And then I built the PC and realized that the entire side of it is made of like actual glass, not like what I thought was probably Perspex. I just assumed they were still Perspex these days, but it is
Yes.
actually solid glass.
So-
So
Before Brady goes on his weird tangent,
yeah, and his whole like tangent where he's like, no, of course it's going to
the
be
side
glass.
of my case is Perspex.
Yes,
to be
I
Yeah,
wasn't
it
going to
is.
go on a tangent.
And,
I
yeah.
was just laughing at the idea that he was like, I'm going to build a PC and move away from my laptop so I can use my PC as a laptop.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
there's
there
a
was
P
that.
and well, 2 P's in laptop, right?
No, he's his laptop.
love
laptop.
It's the apothecary of technology.
No idea what that is.
So immediately my 4 screens, or I still have 2 screens in a box because I haven't even unpacked them. Like, what am I going to do with them? Sit them down in the shed and not use them?
You can
I don't
still
know.
set up a third one.
I'm totally setting up all 4 once I get the space because I've got them. So I'm gonna have 4 screens, man.
Yeah, do it. 100%.
I have
Like,
2
I have
TV
3,
shows
and I'm
and
like,
2 video
I'd-
games running
I'd
at the
set
same
up
time.
4. No, but it's great.
Yeah.
Like, you can, like, talk smack on social media over here. You can game here, and then you can watch deviant pornography over here. And, like, what else do you use screens for?
I mean, they're all of the things, right? So
That's
totally
the
makes
3
sense.
things a computer exists for.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what the internet exists for in those
So,
things.
my PC build, we'll just jump into that real quick. I did record myself. So, Brady did not record himself, which is probably a good call because it's a first build and it's stressful. And I
And he
can totally
made
get
68 mistakes.
that. I mean, it could have been a good bloopers reel. Like, here's what not to do, kids.
But in all honesty, like...
you didn't like it works. And that's a huge step for a first build. Like, honestly,
It does work.
I
didn't blow the
will...
thing up.
My first build, I killed the PC the very first time. So I built my
Yeah.
first PC at like the age of 11. And I didn't know what standoff screws were. I'd looked into literally nothing and just assumed I could put it all together. And my motherboard didn't come with a manual because I bought it secondhand because I was going cheap. And I was just like, oh yeah, these really long screws will be the right ones. and I just tried to screw straight through the motherboard and bent the solder between the motherboard and the I/O, so just completely ruined the motherboard. And so yeah, I completely killed my first build. So you didn't do that?
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. No, it was. So how heavy is yours as well? Because that's the other problem. It's not just that it's glass on one side.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon it weighs?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 5-6 kilos. I don't know.
Oh,
It's not that heavy.
It's more than
You
that,
reckon?
but also
Really?
yeah, because mine's more than that, and yours is definitely more. But regardless of that, it's
That and like
I don't feel that
up-
heavy, but
up-
still.
mine's
Went
30 something.
downstairs.
yeah. I was gonna say
Seriously?
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine's
man.
30 something. So like, but mine, I have mechanical hard drives. Nearly each mechanical hard drive weighs a kilo. So there's that.
Right,
My
okay.
case is also a lot bigger than
Our hard
yours.
drives weighed like a quarter of a phone, so yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, exactly. So
They were tiny.
I would say maybe closer to the 10 kilo mark would be about right for you.
Yeah, okay.
But still, it's not light. It's not really
No.
transportable. Like,
It is a bit bulky as well. Like
Me
it's,
being
it's a
me-
little bit big.
I'm stubborn and I would probably have just carried it anyway. But you being the guy who did exercise for the first time yesterday,
Dude, I'm so sorry.
I would have done
So
different,
sore.
Justin, and I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to you because you did this when we first started with your Ethernet cable. I'm surprised you didn't just get like a balls out long display cable.
so I would like to point out that
Oh,
there
yeah.
is a lot more logistics than just that. Because he also needs headphones and a microphone to get down to where the monitors are.
That's true.
And you also have to take into account that
extenders.
HDMI has a signal degradation after a certain point.
Yeah, I
can't
do know
remember
that.
where it
But
is.
it's just
Because at one of the tattoo studios I used to work at, the one that you used to visit a lot, Brady, I ran HDMI from the front of that shop to the very back, like their computer at the front to the back. And that was,
Yeah.
I think it was 50 meters of HDMI, and I had to run it up through the roof. And it had to have special like signal repeaters just to make the
Yeah.
HDMI work.
That'd be a huge process. Way too hard. Like
It
way
sucked,
too hard
but-
basket.
I got paid.
Nice.
Unlike dealing
Yeah.
with you freeloaders.
yeah. I was gonna say
Well,
we had IT
you know.
on tap, and so the absolute takeaway from this episode is if you do your own Jasement discourse, you can't have our Jace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get your own the
Need
content.
the other Jace. Yeah.
I'm not paying
So-
for shit.
My PC build was a little bit easier than Brady's, obviously, because for one, I have built a PC in the past, which was handy, like really handy, and I think the PCs for building are just a lot easier these days than they were back then.
Yeah,
Like,
yours was
I don't know.
Pentium M. Like that's like 2003-ish.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just out of high school sort of thing, maybe 2003 to 2005 era. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're working with like the big heavy SATAs and like, you know, just big
Wait,
chunky boys.
You wouldn't have even had SATA. You would have been on IDE hard drives with the big wide fucking ribbon cables.
Oh yes, actually yes, I was.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a whole lot of chord management in there as well, like which I didn't have to do a whole lot of that this time. So the build was quite good. The only difference for this one was that because it's definitely a much higher powered PC than what I'd built in the past, I had a much bigger cooling fan to deal with this time. So you actually had to build a little frame around the CPU for the cooler, which was different to what I've done in the past. The cooler that I had previously, I didn't even remember installing it, but I'm pretty sure it was very small. So it was very
Yeah.
basic. But
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure, like I can't remember how the Pentium M cooling was, but I'm pretty sure it might have just been similar to the later Intel, just push pins, like you just thumb and push it in and it's done.
yes, yeah. I don't think there was any actual screws in the whole thing. So yeah, and it's a very intuitive. And the towers these days are just much smarter. Like I'm pretty sure the tower I had just hundreds of holes ready for you to put X keyboard, X motherboard into. You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't like these are the generic motherboards that fit into a general sized tower. It was this is your motherboard, and now you find the correct hole for you to pin that to your tower, and it's just, I don't know, it's just an absolute nightmare. So it was a much easier build. It still took me like 4 hours because it just happened to be just after my birthday, so I had like all my family visiting me.
Can't believe they'd have the audacity to visit you, of all people.
I know, right? It's rude. I don't get it. But like, it was just the worst timing. Like, I don't see them all that much, and they decided to come and visit me while I've got a motherboard out on
What
the
sons
table.
of bitches?
Don't your
I've got, like, a
family
motherboard
live
out,
up the
I'm
road
like-
from you?
They do, yeah, they do. I'm the busy one, like, you know. But yeah. Anyway, like it's
So
got
this-
flat. So
is
yeah,
what?
no, it was a fine build, and I did record most of it. So I've put a little edit together for that too. So
And we'll...
I've been a busy boy with these little edits of mine. Gotta say,
about damn time.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I got a computer to do it now, so and it renders within, I don't know. I was actually really surprised. I think the last video I did rendered in like a minute. I was like, oh, okay. Did that actually work?
And that's good. The last
It was really cool.
episode I exported, like a full podcast episode, still took me like an hour and a half. I was like, hour and a half. Gotta go
This
do
was a
things.
minute long thing, so like,
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
40 minutes and
Yeah.
tons of editing. But yeah, it's all good fun. Everyone's got new fun things to play with.
new
And
rigs,
soon we
and
will
we're all
discuss
connected.
the new thing that we all played with. Foreboding.
Dun dun dun.